Hi, I'm Emma. Today, we're going to find out if your English vocabulary is truly advanced. I'll show you 12 words that fluent English speakers often use. Let's see how many of them you know. If you know 10 out of 12, congratulations! Your English is on another level. I'll give you time to think about each word's meaning, explain how to pronounce it perfectly, provide you with definitions, sample sentences, and we'll listen to native speakers using these words in real-life conversations. If you encounter a new word, I encourage you to pause, practice, and use it in your own sentences. The best way to remember new vocabulary is to use it. Let's get started. Let's start with a delightful word, serendipity. Pronounce it with me, serendip-ity. Serendipity refers to the occurrence of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. It's one of those words that perfectly captures unexpected joy. Here's an example. Finding $20 in an old coat pocket is an act of serendipity. It's something lucky that happens when you least expect it. Let me give you 2 more examples. She discovered the bakery by serendipity while taking a wrong turn. The scientist made a serendipitous discovery that changed the course of her research. Serendipity also carries a sense of magic or fate. For example, imagine bumping into an old friend at the airport when neither of you had planned to be there. Another serendipitous moment. Now think of your own sentence using serendipity. Pause the video and practice aloud. You'll remember it much better this way. Let's listen to some native speakers using the word in context.
Interesting, but wait a minute, serendipity is pure luck. It happens when it happens. The only thing you can do is be prepared for it when it happens.
The inventor's death at the weekend is a reminder of how many everyday things were invented by accident. As our culture editor Matthew Kane reports, serendipity is more common than you might think.
Did you notice how naturally they used serendipity? It's often used in storytelling to describe fortunate accidents or happy coincidences that make life feel magical. Keep practicing, and soon it will feel natural for you too. Next up is a lively word, effervescent. Pronounce it with me, effervescent. This word describes something or someone who is full of energy, bubbly, and positive. For instance, we often describe sparkling water as effervescent, but it's also used to describe people with vibrant personalities. For example, you might say, her effervescent personality lights up the room wherever she goes. The soda was refreshingly effervescent, with bubbles dancing on the surface. You can also use it metaphorically. For example, the effervescent atmosphere at the party made everyone feel excited and alive. His effervescent laughter was contagious, spreading joy to everyone around him. This word can bring a sense of brightness to your descriptions. It's often used to describe both people and moments that feel full of life and energy. Now, think about a time when you felt effervescent. How would you use this word to describe that moment? Let's listen to native speakers using effervescent in everyday conversation.
You can literally just throw in your drink, and the effervescent tube was so important to me because you can throw it in.
Crystal is so fun. She has such an effervescent personality. So this just reflects her effervescent personality.
Effervescent is one of those words that just makes you feel good when you say it, doesn't it? Whether you're describing a fizzy drink or someone's bubbly personality, it's a great word to have in your vocabulary. Now let's talk about something more fleeting. The word is ephemeral, pronounced ephemeral. Ephemeral describes something that lasts for a very short time. It's perfect for describing things that are beautiful but brief. For example, the beauty of a sunset is ephemeral, fading away in moments. The artist's work was ephemeral, created out of ice and snow that would soon melt away. Ephemeral moments are often deeply cherished because they're short-lived. For instance, the cherry blossoms in spring are ephemeral, only lasting a few weeks before they fall. Youth is ephemeral, a fleeting time that passes quickly. Now, take a moment and think about something in your life that was ephemeral. It could be a fleeting experience or something that didn't last long but left a lasting impression. Practice using the word in your own sentence. Let's listen to native speakers using ephemeral in everyday conversation.
So what does ephemeral mean? This is content like on Snapchat or Instagram stories where it lasts for a very short time, like 24 hours.
Ephemeral, even though it's a term which means that it lasts for a second or a moment.
As you heard, ephemeral is often used when talking about nature, beauty, or experiences that are temporary. It's a poetic word, often used in literature or art, and it helps us appreciate the fleeting moments of life. Our next word is ineffable, pronounced ineffable. It's a word that means something too great or extreme to be expressed in words. This is a powerful word, often used to describe feelings or experiences that are beyond description. Here are some examples. The feeling of standing on top of a mountain at sunrise is ineffable. The beauty of the moment left her in ineffable awe. You might also use it in more personal contexts. His ineffable kindness moved everyone in the room. The love between them was ineffable, too deep for words to capture. Think about a moment in your life when you felt ineffable joy or awe. How would you describe it? Pause the video and practice using the word in your own sentence. Let's listen to native speakers using ineffable in conversation.
That's a long period of time to have that intense experience. So these are the exact moments that I think are ineffable.
Find out what draws them to the material. And I think the ineffable nature of glass, or the fact that glass is often there and not there.
Ineffable is often used to describe emotions that go beyond what words can express. It's perfect for those moments when words just aren't enough. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be able to use this word effortlessly. Let's move on to the word quintessential. Repeat after me, quintessential. This word describes something that is the perfect example of a particular quality. For instance, we might say, Paris is the quintessential city of romance, or she's the quintessential teacher, always kind and patient. Here are more examples. The quintessential summer day involves sunshine, the beach, and ice cream. He's the quintessential gentleman, always holding doors open for others. The word quintessential often captures the essence of something in its most perfect form. Now, think about something quintessential in your life. How would you describe it? Take a moment to practice using this word. Let's listen to native speakers using quintessential in their conversations.
And how he is, and this is what he droned on and on about. I am the quintessential nice guy. I'm the epitome.
And soon you'll be asking her the quintessential question, butt or finger.
Quintessential is a great word to elevate your descriptions, especially when talking about ideals or perfect examples of something. Try using it in your daily conversations. Now let's learn a cheerful word, ebullient. Say it with me, ebullient. It means cheerful and full of energy, and it's often used to describe people with lively, enthusiastic personalities. Examples include, her ebullient spirit lifted everyone's mood during the party. He greeted us with an ebullient smile, full of warmth and energy. You can also use it to describe environments. The ebullient atmosphere at the concert was contagious, making everyone dance. The team's ebullient energy after winning the championship could be felt by everyone in the stadium. Think about someone you know who's always cheerful and full of energy, someone ebullient. How would you describe their personality using this word? Ebullient is one of those words that can really brighten up your vocabulary. It's great for describing moments or people that are full of life. Keep practicing. Next, let's talk about a more serious word, pernicious, pronounced pernicious. This word refers to something that is harmful, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Here are some examples. The spread of misinformation can have pernicious effects on society. His pernicious habits were slowly affecting his health. You can also use it in broader contexts. The pernicious influence of corruption weakened the country's institutions. Her pernicious attitude was spreading negativity in the workplace without anyone noticing. Think about a situation where something harmful was happening gradually or behind the scenes. How would you use pernicious to describe it? Pernicious is a powerful word that helps you describe slow, subtle harm. It's great for formal discussions, especially when talking about social or personal issues. Here's one you may recognize from literature: soliloquy, pronounced so-leel-o-qui. This word refers to a speech that someone makes to themselves, often in a play. Some examples are: Hamlet's soliloquy, to be or not to be, is one of the most famous in literature. She delivered a soliloquy on stage, sharing her character's deepest thoughts with the audience. You can also use soliloquy in a broader sense. He went on a soliloquy about life and love as if no one else was in the room. During the long walk, she indulged in a silent soliloquy, lost in her own thoughts. Think about a time when you've had an internal monologue or moment of deep reflection. How would you describe it using the word soliloquy? Soliloquy is a word with a rich history, especially in literature and theater. It helps capture those deep reflective moments when we talk to ourselves. Try using it the next time you're describing a personal reflection. Let's shift to a more positive word, benevolent. Say it with me, benevolent. It means someone who is kind and well-meaning. Some examples. The charity was supported by benevolent donors who wanted to make a difference. He is known for his benevolent nature, always helping those in need. You can also use it in broader contexts. Her benevolent smile reassured the children during the tough times. The king was loved for his benevolent rule, always prioritizing the well-being of his people. Think about someone in your life who is particularly kind or generous. How would you describe their actions using the word benevolent? Now, let's listen to native speakers using benevolent in conversation.
I think people should join the Benevolent Fund, firstly, because it's cost-effective. £2 a month is hardly anything in.
Both the evil and the good receive the grace of God for things like amazing weather. This is the benevolent heart of God for all people.
Benevolent is a beautiful word to use when describing kindness. It adds depth to your descriptions and can be used in both everyday and formal contexts. Now, let's talk about sound. The word is cacophony, pronounced cacophony. It refers to a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. For example, the city streets were filled with the cacophony of car horns and chatter. The band's performance turned into a cacophony of noise as they struggled to stay in tune. Cacophony is often used to describe chaotic, loud environments. Here are more examples. The cacophony of the construction site made it impossible to concentrate. As the children ran around the playground, their laughter and shouts created a delightful cacophony. Think about a time when you were surrounded by loud, jarring noises. How would you describe that experience using cacophony? Cacophony is a great word for describing noisy, chaotic environments. It's especially useful in storytelling when you want to convey a sense of overwhelming sound. Here's a more somber word, lugubrious, pronounced lugubrious. It means looking or sounding sad and dismal. Examples include, the lugubrious atmosphere of the old house made everyone feel uneasy. He gave a lugubrious speech about the state of the economy. You can also use it in more personal contexts. Her lugubrious expression revealed how much the news had affected her. The lugubrious music played softly in the background, adding to the melancholy mood. Think about a time when you or someone else felt particularly down or gloomy. How would you describe that using the word lugubrious? Lugubrious is often used to describe atmospheres or expressions that are deeply sorrowful. It's perfect for adding a dramatic touch to your descriptions. Our final word is ameliorate, pronounced ameliorate. It means to make something better or improve a situation. Examples include, she took steps to ameliorate the working conditions at her company. The government implemented new policies to ameliorate the housing crisis. You can also use it in everyday situations. He worked hard to ameliorate the tense situation between his friends. The doctor prescribed medication to ameliorate her symptoms. Think about a situation you've improved or helped make better. How would you describe that using the word ameliorate? Ameliorate is a great word to describe positive changes, especially in formal contexts. It's perfect for both professional and everyday situations where improvements are made. How did you do? If you knew 10 out of these 12 words, your English is excellent. And if you didn't, don't worry. Keep practicing and make sure to use these words in your own sentences. The more you use them, the more they'll stick. If you want to keep improving your English, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Mind so.